Okay. So I've already done this like a while ago on a different account, but I thought I would start a new account for the Pico CTFs and stuff. So um, if you go on Pico CTF and get the shop, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's Pico CTF. If you don't know, you probably shouldn't follow along, but I don't really care if you do. So there's Pico CTF. That's the website. You go to the shop challenge on the reverse engineering section, and then you download the file and its source. So I've already done chmod plus x, so I've already made it an executable. When you download it, it's not going to be executable, so you have to do chmod plus x source, and then it will work. But anyways, so this I just want to show this as an example of, instead of just solving it and showing you how it's solved, I want to show it as an example of like reverse engineering, right? When you don't have access to the source code but just the assembly and stuff. So as you can see, this is an ELF executable, so it's a Linux executable. I'm not gonna use GDB. Um, instead I'm gonna show something even better, something that actually help you learn a little better. So in the real world, you're not gonna use GDB, right? GDB is something we use for CTFs. Even like difficult CTFs, you will never you probably won't use GDB. Not never, sorry. You will use GDB, that just not very often. You use it for a good amount of CTF. So what I'm gonna be using is IDA freeware. So if you don't know what IDA is, if you're doing this on your computer, when you launch IDA, it's not gonna look like this. I've actually changed my IDA. So you can. I'm pretty sure it's you gotta click new assembler or something, and then you click open file. You get to this page or whatever. You can just look up a tutorial. It's IDA freeware, right? So IDA is a disassembler program. What it's gonna do is it's gonna take your program, your source file, your binary, whatever, and it's gonna turn it into essentially just assembly, right? It's gonna disassemble it. Now, the good thing with IDA, actually, let me show you this. So you might also hear about, okay, if this would load, just give it a minute. So you might have also heard about Gidra. So Gidra is written by the NSA. I'm actually not sure if it got leaked. Let me see. Did Gidra get leaked? Yeah, so I guess no, it's declassification. Yeah, whatever. So it was written by the NSA, and it doesn't have any updates. But this is a very common used Gidra, like a common used disassembler. Now with IDA freeware, right? So there's the free version, right? That's what I have. It lets you get access to like exe files, Linux files, ELF executables, whatever. But there's a whole lot of things you don't have access to with IDA. And okay, it's not gonna show me. So let me look up IDA prices or something. Yeah. So to get access to different types of files and different type of like file decompilers, whatever, you need to pay a lot of money. Okay, so we're talking like thousands of, I gotta stop using the word like, we're talking thousands of dollars to simply have a very advanced disassembler. But the difference between IDA and Gidra is that Gidra doesn't have updates, right? It just got leaked by the NSA, or the NSA sent it, whatever happened, declassified, doesn't matter. But IDA, it has constant community updates, meaning there's an actual community that contributes to IDA. It's constantly being updated, whatever, and it's, in my opinion and a lot of people's opinion, the best disassembler there is. But Gidra will still work for around 99% of your CTFs. Okay, like I just use the word. Okay, whatever. You don't need IDA, is my point. But I'm gonna be using IDA because that's what I'm gonna teach with. You're probably never gonna need to use IDA's enhanced options or advanced options where you need to pay $14,000 or anything. You probably only use just a free one. So IDA gives you like this tree view of your program. This is the entry point main.openshop. So if I go ahead and launch the program, so I'm gonna do /source. This is the program, and main shop kind of makes sense for this to be to main shop. And disassemblers like IDA and Ghidra, they find your entry point, meaning where your program starts. Now, for programs written with C and C++, the main file, or any other language pretty much, the main function is where your program starts. But mainly for C and C++, that's where like you're gonna call your functions to start the program, the main functions, whatever. So IDA and Ghidra recognize that and take you to it. I'm not gonna get too much into IDA and these arrows and their colors or anything. Instead I'm just gonna. This is just an example, right? Whatever. It is in that section. I hope nobody is here for the actual solution because you should do it yourself. So it gives you this little tree view. I actually don't know how to go back to normal. I think it's like Control I or something. No. So maybe you double click it. I forgot how to do this. Graphs, toolbars, full screen, the graph overview. Nope, this is the graph overview. Graph toolbar, full screen. Nope. Okay, seriously? How do you get the fuck out of here? Let me close the hex view and the local types. All of that stuff is not needed. Text view maybe? There you go. Okay. So this is text view for just the main function, I believe. Wait, let me see. Yeah, this is not nearly long enough to be the. Oh wait, no. Sorry. Okay, I was saying it wrong. So this is the text view. You can also the text view is just kind of every instruction is laid out like this. Now, typically you'll work with the graph view, this, because it gives you. Okay, where am I? Lord Christ. Okay, get me out of here. There you go. So the graph view will give you a better idea on how the program executes. These arrows, they point, they represent loops and stuff. It's a lot easier to understand this than this, right? Doesn't mean you're not gonna use text view, but it's just there. So anyways, I'm not gonna do the assembly of this. I'm just gonna go ahead and do F5, FN5 on your keyboard. It also has a disassembler like this, where it essentially gives you pseudocode, right? The program is definitely not written like this, with all these random variables. This is most of the time, what's it called? This is just pseudocode. So I just want to start with going to jump and then jump to function. When you click jump to function on IDA, it typically takes you to the main functions that are used on the program. So in this CTF, these are probably all of the functions that are used by the program or written by the programmer, right? So you have main get flag. That's, it's kind of just, I mean, I don't need to explain that. It's a function that gets the flag, right? So I'm going to do F5 on that. Main.get flag. Now this can look intimidating, but it's pretty simple. And you have to do a lot of IDA to understand stuff. So string file name, this is where it's located in the EBP, whatever. dword file name. So dword file name, it's probably gonna, yeah. So that's probably just, this is obviously just for a file name. Int lm, whatever. So file name dot string is gonna be flag.txt. So now we know that there's a flag txt that it's looking for, because down here it does io retivable whatever uh, file name, it equals to read file, right? So most of the time this is just mumbo jumbo. You don't need to understand the typecasting that's going on here. or the dereferencing. You don't really need to understand all of that. It's better if you do, because CTFs are not what you're gonna see in real life. That's what a lot of people don't remember or focus on, is the fact that sure, CTFs are gonna make you a way better hacker, and you need to know how to do CTFs. You need to be good at CTFs, not just because it opens up a lot of opportunities. Like if you do really good in a competition, it opens up a lot of doors. In a big competition, not some bumfuck nowhere competition. But CTFs are not what you're gonna see in real life, right? So, anyways, my point is that you're gonna need to be able to understand complex stuff like this, but for a majority of CTFs, not really. Anyway, so it does a read file, IO out a read file. Now, I think it's pretty straightforward. It's reading file name, and if you remember, file name is flag.txt, so it's reading a flag named um, flag.txt, and this is just the disassembler, right? So we're not actually reading the assembly, which is a good thing. Typically want to avoid that, because when you get to the point where you're just reading assembly, it's actually kind of hard. Anyways, a read file. So let's see. Yes, I have no idea. Func read file. Go. I'm assuming this is the Go language. Maybe so. Perhaps this is written with Go or something. I didn't read the file command I put, so whatever. You can get some ideas on what's happening and what language is used and whatever. And then the main check function is called. So there is, if you remember, we have that main check function. We could go there and see what it is, but you can see it's not really anything important. If e.tab, yeah, I don't think that matters. Wow, okay. I just lost that, so I'm gonna F5 again. F5, okay, anyways. So it reads that file, blah, 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 and then it fprints file name, -4, whatever. So it just reads the file, and it's pretty much all it does, yeah. It doesn't write to it or anything. It does print the file name out. So again, nothing really too important, but now like in a CTF, you see the get flag function. You would know that this, for example, prints the flag in a CTF, right? So we're gonna look around. Sorry, you want to go to jump to function, and in a regular CTF or in a real reverse engineering program, when you want to trigger something, so in this case we want to trigger the main get flag function, you'd look around and find the function that does that. So I've already done this CTF again. So I'm just gonna go exactly where it is. I'm pretty sure it was main menu. I don't remember it too well. So I'm gonna do F5. And you're gonna look for the function. Yep, there it is. Main get flag. So this can look intimidating when this is what you have to work with. But most of this is just variables, right? So you don't have to. Okay, what is this doing here? Go back. Go back. How do you go back? I need you to go back. Okay, it's not going back. Seriously? Can't even get the fuck out of here. Resize roll window up. Yeah, that doesn't do it at all. Okay. Wow, this is crazy. Maximize. Don't do that. Okay. Move. Can I move you in there? Cannot move you in there. Okay. So I'm just gonna. Great. Now it's just on the screen. This is a fun game. Kidding me? How does this even happen? Okay, so font. Okay, that doesn't. How do you get rid of this? Are you kidding me? Wow. Okay. So I'm just gonna. Wow, this is crazy. Okay, maybe pull it down. Maybe just get it out of the screen. Okay, there you go. Okay, let's just pretend like that did not happen. I'll up my font to 9. I'll do 10 because I know the quality can be horrible for some of you guys. That did not do much, whatever. So I just want to give you an idea on what you would do in IDA. So, for example, you have if v4 is equal to 3, right? And this is usually going to take a lot longer than how I'm doing it right now, because reverse engineering is a very cumbersome process. I'm not sure if that's the right word, whatever. It takes very long, even for regular CTFs. So this is if v4 is equal to 3, main cell. It calls the main cell function. And I think that's kind of straightforward here. If you enter 3, it's going to call the main cell function. So we can say v4 is, I guess, input, right? So now, if you highlight input, you can find other instances of it. Input is equal to choice. Input is equal to choice. So choice is probably, yeah, so there's also a lot of redundant, a bunch of redundant assignments in this assembler in IDA, but you just have to get used to it. So anyways, also, yeah, so if input is equal to 3, it calls a main cell function, okay? And then, for instance, you would do a little more looking around and whatever, and you would see, son of a bitch, where was it? I remember it was, there's OS exit, right? So if choice is over 3, it OS exits, so it exits the program, right? So we can try that. Let's enter like 7. See, it ends the program. So that's pretty straightforward. And then let's see. So if that's not the case, it goes if it's less than 3. So if it's 0, 1, 2, right? It does all of this random stuff, mumbo jumbo. Some of this stuff is important. It prints something. It prints AF. So let's see what AF is, right? You could highlight AF and then get an idea, and then just keep reversing back until you get back to what you need to find. Right, so V38, whatever. So it looks like just something of a string of some sort. So it's not super important. Print something, right? Print AF. AF is, yep, same thing. Okay. And sometimes you can reverse it all the way back to what the string is. If you're doing dynamic, if you were doing what's it called, debugging. If you're debugging, so you were dynamic reverse engineering, you'd be able to see what's stored in these, and you would be able to change the variable name to whatever you need. So it gives you a better idea on what you're working with. Anyways, if the choice is less than 3, it prints something, and then it scans something, right? So V37 0. So I'm assuming that's the 0 input. It does something, whatever. Wait, let me see if choice. Okay, so highlight choice. V10, and then it scans F. Okay, so this is probably where it takes the input. If scan F, scan choice, and then if the choice is more than inventory.length, it calls runtime panic. But this is not what we care about at all. We care about this, right? So it goes through all of this stuff. If the count is less than 3, okay, so 0, 1, or 2, it does something, not too important. And then here, if the wallet, if your wallet is less than the inventory array v11.price. So I'm assuming this checks if I'm assuming this checks if you have enough in your wallet to purchase one of these options, right? Else it checks this. I'm assuming, yeah. So I'm assuming this checks if blah blah blah. It's not super important. And then if inventory.length, so we don't care about that. Now this one, if inventory.array, second choice count does not equal 1, right? So if, I think this is pretty straightforward, if inventory, right, array second element does not equal 1, it prints main flag, right? So that's what we care about. So basically, you want to get this to 1. To get something to 0. So you want to purchase this. But you have 40 coins, and you can only purchase this stuff, which actually just makes you lose coins. So, I've already done these ones. I've already done this. So I don't really remember too well how this program worked, but I'm pretty sure this just does v15 equals wallet minus number. So minus number whatever number time. Oh yeah, so minus number times. So this is probably the count, right? This is probably how many you have of that of that um of that little thing, whatever, of these choices. So here we have 12 or something. So it's gonna be wallet. So how much you have, 40 coins, whatever, minus your number. So how many you purchase times the inventory price. So that makes sense, right? So if you buy, I don't know, 4 of these and they're $10, it's 4 times 10, right? It's pretty straightforward. So this is already a problem. So yeah, this is already a problem because this is an edge case. This is an edge case in programming. That's what they call it. So if it's doing wallet minus number times how many you purchase, if you are unable to immediately understand this, the problem with this is if you have, say, $30, right, and you purchase three $10 ones, right? So sure, you have $0, okay? And let's just keep this at, yeah, so 30, right? But what if you input negative 30 into the program, right? If you input, let's go. If you input negative 30, and then it subtracts. So hold on, let me explain this better. So let me just choose one, right? And it says how many do you want to buy, and I input 100 or something. Or I'm sorry. So I input 0, and I ask how many, and I do negative 100, right? If I input negative 100, and I actually input this incorrectly, so if I have $30, right, and I input negative 100, I'm doing minus, to give you a better idea, negative, so let's say I buy, how many did I buy here? 100, okay, right, so I bought 100 times, um, wait a minute, I am stupid, so 100 times, yeah, 10, right, so, seriously, you're gonna, okay, feel like I'm losing brain cells, so just multiply that like that. So as you can see, obviously it's two negatives, right? It's a negative, or sorry, it's a positive minus a negative times something. So it's, yeah, it's gonna give you a positive number. Can't believe I'm explaining this like in this way. It's the worst way to explain it. Whatever. So that's a program. That's a mistake in the program, right? Gives you a positive number, whatever. So so if you just input a negative number, you get a positive coin. So actually, when I first did this, I just spammed a negative number because I already knew that's something that's probably what the CTF is gonna be. Is usually pretty obvious. The ones with more than 5,000 solutions, they're not too hard. Um, like over 5,000 people have solved the problem in the world, whatever, in Pico CTF. So and if we check this in assembly, you see that's clearly the case. And for example, you can rename underscore num to item uh, item shit, I don't know, amount, no, number of items, right? Horrible naming, but you see it helps you understand what's going on a lot better, you know. So here v37.1 is going to be the number of items, right? Index 1. So that probably tells you that that's how many items. I mean, that probably tells you whatever work that's going to be done with the first index of V31 of V37.1 is going to be how many you purchase, right? How many you're going to purchase of that item, for example. But I'm not gonna go through this entire thing. But the point is that now, if inventory array 2, so very straightforward, inventory array second element does not equal 1. So if it's 2, 3, 4, 0, whatever, it's gonna print, or it's gonna call the main get flag function. So now we have 1,040 coins. You just do 2, and you buy 1, and then it prints the flag. I'm not actually connected to the Pico CTF website, so um it's not gonna show it. But you know what? Hell, I'll do it right now um because why not? So let me see this. Pico CTF. So this is a new account. I will be doing more on this account and stuff. So anyways, I'm gonna connect to it, right? So I'm gonna do first one again, and I'm gonna do negative 100. I will get 1040 coins. I'll do 2. I'll purchase 1, and it prints the flag this way. Now, CTFs, while you won't see CTFs in real life, again, it's absolutely necessary to be my opinion at least. It's really necessary to be fucking kidding me. How do I get this out of the way, bro? Okay, whatever. It's really necessary to be a good hacker or whatever. So if you see this, you should like, if you're a good hacker, you immediately recognize that this is ASCII, right? 112's wait, let me show this. Okay, taking a millennium. So ASCII converter. Right, if I enter 112, I'm pretty sure that's P. Okay, that's not what I want. Nope. Why would I? Nope. No, 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 no. ASCII. Not what I want to do. Why is there music playing? How is there music playing? Okay, there you go. So you see it's P. And you might not recognize this. This is ASCII right away, but you know, like as you get better, you recognize more things. Man, if I convert this, is there a fucking ad playing? Okay, anyways, you get your flag. So I guess that's it. And I am gonna do a video on. God, I fucking hate this program. How do you close this? Okay, there you go. Don't hack database. Yes. Anyways, so I am gonna do a video um on IDA. IDA, that's how you spell it. IDA freeware. So it's very important to understand and know how to use. I will also use Gidra sometimes because I know there's people that like Gidra more. I don't know why people like Gidra more, but there's people that like Gidra more. Actually, let me just show you what Gidra looks like, because why not? I already have the program and project set up. If you don't know, just look up the tutorial. It takes like 2 minutes. So you see Gidra already looks a little more outdated, I guess. But sometimes it does look nicer. And Gidra also has that disassembler option that I was talking about. But you see how there's no jump, or maybe I don't know. Go to next function. Yeah, so IDA kind of takes care of a lot of the abstract work that you would have to do. Okay, seriously? Are the functions not here at all? Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah. But if you want to use IDA, you can. Or sorry, not IDA, Gidra, you can. It's very good. There's also other ones, but I'll make a video on that later.